is Pat Hackett Steckel. I'm sharing this photograph of the two oldest children of Aquilla and Elizabeth Bus Hackett, my grandparents, as well as a brief introduction to the Hackett family. This photo of my Aunt Verda and Uncle John was taken around mid-1904, probably in Akron, Ohio. Verda was born in 1901, and John, who we always called Dan for some reason, we're not sure why, was born in 1903. So Verda is about 2.5 years old, and Dan was about 6 to 9 months old in this picture. Now, keep in mind that this is not the way I remember them. They were in their 50s when I was born. Their parents were married on January 3rd, 1901, when Aquilla was 26 and Lizzie was 21. Prior to their marriage, they both lived in Salt Creek Township, Wayne County, Ohio. Sometime around their marriage, they moved to Akron, where Verda and Dan were born. While in Akron, Aquilla worked for the Goodrich Company as a carpenter and then as a millwright. Their growing family moved back to Salt Creek Township around 1907, where they lived with his father, William, on his farm. Aquilla's mother, Sarah Tracy Hackett, died in the spring of 1907, which most likely prompted the family's return to Wayne County. At that time, Grandpa took up farming. In all, Grandpa and Grandma had 7 children, including my father, Dale, who was their 5th child. They remained in Wayne County until their deaths at 85 and 91, respectively. When Verda was 21, she married Weldon McKee. Weldon was born in Holmes County, Ohio in 1902. They had 6 children, 2 girls and 4 boys. Verda, like her mother, remained at home to keep house and rear the children. Weldon worked as a truck driver and then as an auto mechanic for many years. They were both members of St. Peter's United Church of Christ in Apple Creek. Verda sang in the choir for many years and was a member of the Women's Guild. They lived in Wayne County until their passing. Verda lived for 86 years, and Weldon 67. Dan married Ella Jewel Glasscock in 1928. He was 24 and she was 18. Jewel was born in Texas in 1909. I have no idea how these two people met. I can't find when she moved to the Wayne County area, but they met somehow. They had 1 child. Dan worked as an auto mechanic. Jewel was a homemaker. They lived in Worcester and worshiped at the Trinity United Church of Christ. Dan was a member of the Isaac Walton League. After he died at age 67, Jewel returned to Texas, where her son Robert lived. She died in Dallas at age 71. Although many of Aquilla and Lizzie's children and their offspring remained in Wayne County, our interactions were infrequent. I would have seen my Aunt Verda the most since we attended the same church. My fondest memories of the Hackett family are the holiday celebrations. While my grandparents were living, all their children, their children's children, and even some of the next generation met at the home of one of my aunts or uncles, or during the last years at our home when we lived on Emerson Road behind Waynedale High School. Generally, there were 60 to 75 relatives attending the Thanksgiving and Christmas festivities. The men congregated in the living room, and the women hung out in the kitchen, the dining room, or wherever else they could find a spot. The kids were everywhere. It was loud, crowded, and fun. I especially remember the laughter. My aunts had the greatest laughs. I think back on those days and relive the feeling of family. It was a great time. Thank you.